Basically, instead of going out, just stay at home. That's what the Xinxin is saying. Don't send your army to play around. Just stay home.
Don't send the army to the England.
Anywhere. Don't send it out to Rome. Said Xinxin, puckering his brows and smiling. We have to fight to the last drop of our blood. That's what the colonel's saying. We have to fight. Thumping the table. Thumping means like maybe hitting his hand on the table. And we must die for our emperor. We have to die for the emperor. And then all will be well. Everything will be well. Hello everyone.
Hello, 大家中午好。
We're still at the dinner in which everybody is like talking about different things, and I think we remember last thing was like the Rostovs. Yeah. The last one was this German tutor who wanted to drink some wine, right?
Yeah, but he don't want to
appear that he's greedy or he's thirsty.
Yeah.
And then people wouldn't understand why he wants to drink it. Okay. So we're at the men's end of the table. The talk grew more and more animated. Remember animated? Yeah, moving, correct. A lot of more movement. More loud. Yeah. The colonel, remember the colonel? That's a guy who's going to take Nicholas together with him to the hussars.
Okay.
Told them that the declaration of war had already appeared in Petersburg. That means that...
declaration.
Yeah, against Napoleon.
Already appeared in Petersburg.
And that a copy, which he had himself seen, had that day been forwarded by courier to the commander-in-chief. So the copy of that letter had been sent to the commander-in-chief. That's the general. That's the guy who takes care of all the control of the army.
Has been forwarded.
Yeah, forwarded by courier, kind of like mailman.
To the commander-in-chief.
Yeah.
Means the army.
Commander, yeah. And why the deuce are we going to fight Bonaparte? And why the deuce? So Xinxin is asking, why should we fight Bonaparte?
What does deuce mean?
Kind of like deuce is. I'm thinking it's kind of like a joker. You know, the card joker, like where you play cards, the joker. So deuce, I think, is kind of like that character. It says what, why the heck are we going to war with Bonaparte?
We're going to fight Bonaparte.
Yeah, so he's asking why are we fighting Bonaparte?
Okay, remarked.
Xinxin.
Just means marked.
Remarked.
Remarked means asked.
Make a comment.
Make a comment.
Right. He has stopped Austria's Krakow, and I fear it will be our turn next. So he said that Napoleon stopped Austria's Krakow. Krakow means like maybe Austria tried to stop Bonaparte, and Krakow means like make a sound. Krakow, right?
What the stop Austria's Krakow?
Okay, so it's just like what you read. Krakow is a sound. So he said that Napoleon stopped Austria's Krakow, whatever that means, and I fear it will be our turn next.
So Napoleon has stopped the Krakow. What does this mean?
It's just like I said. It's like a sound. Krakow. Stop
the Krakow. Stop the sound.
Yeah, it's just a way. Okay, it's just it doesn't. By itself, it doesn't mean anything, right? The crackle, right? So you have to just read it. Napoleon stopped this sound that Austria was making, and I fear it will be our turn next.
Means Bonaparte already fight to
Austria. Yeah, already finished fighting Austria.
Fighting.
The colonel was a stout, tall, plethoric German. So talking about who the colonel was. Colonel was stout.
Yeah.
Tall. Plethoric, I actually don't know. We can look it up. Jody thinks plethoric. Yeah. Plethoric is... I don't know. Full body fluid. Interesting. But anyway, very large, abundant, excessive. Somebody who's full of blood. That's what plethoric means.
Full of blood?
Just make it...
A monster?
Yeah, German. Yeah. So maybe bigger than Pierre. Evidently devoted to the service and patriotically Russian. So he's German, but he's devoted to the service and patriotic is like your father Russia, kind of like father Russia. So he's serving Russia.
Serving Russia.
Yeah. He resented Xinxin's remark. He did not like Xinxin's remark.
He resented means didn't like.
Did not like. Yeah, he actually felt. Yeah, he did not like Xinxin's remark. It is for the reason, my good sir. Oh, he's speaking German. That's why it's kind of like weird. It's for the reason, my good sir, said he, speaking with a German accent. For the reason that the empire knows that. He declares in the manifesto that he cannot face with indifference the danger threatening Russia and that the safety and dignity of the empire as well as the... So he's speaking German.
My.
So he's basically saying he wants to talk to Xinxin, right? It's a good reason. It's for the reason, my good sir, for the reason that the emperor knows that. The emperor knows the reason. Okay, that's what he's saying. Emperor knows the reason why he wants to go to war. He declared the manifesto, the piece of paper, remember, that he cannot fight with indifference. He cannot fight, feel. He cannot feel with, I don't know. He cannot be without indifference. Like he cannot just like go blindly against what Napoleon is doing. Indifference means don't care, right? Indifference means I don't care. So he said,
Cannot indifferent.
yeah, he cannot be without indifference. The danger, threatening Russia, and that the safety and the dignity of the empire, as well as the sanctity of its alliances. Sanctity means the good health of its alliances. So both it threatens the empire, the Russian empire. So the Russia and the safety and dignity of the empire. So it's saying that Napoleon threats the safety and dignity of the empire, as well as the sanctity of its alliance, its friends.
What does sanctity mean?
Health. You can think of the health of its
Health.
health,
So it's the dignity.
dignity. Yeah.
What does it mean?
Dignity, dignified. Remember dignified?
I forgot.
Oh my. You remember somebody who walks the dignified manner?
Oh, okay.
So there's a dignity of the empire. Means the you can think of the wholeness of the empire, the niceness of the empire.
So what is the Xinxin's question? And then
Xinxin basically said, why do we need to fight at all?
because why
should Russia fight? That's what Xinxin said.
because Xinxin think Bonaparte didn't fight Russia. Why Russia should fight?
Sure. Yeah.
Help other country to fight.
Sure.
Oh, okay.
He spoke this last word with particular emphasis as if it lay in the gist of the matter. So it's basically he's German, right?
Yeah.
So he's saying if Russia doesn't fight, then her friends like Germany can also be bad for them, right? So he spoke his last word, alliances, with particular emphasis, make it sound louder, as if in that word lays the most important part. Just the most important part of the matter.
What does this word mean?
Alliances, like your friends. You're my ally or my enemy. So you can be either my ally or enemy. Enemy, you know.
Yeah.
Ally is the opposites, like you're my friend.
Good friend.
Then, with the unerring, official memory that characterized him, he repeated from the opening words of the manifesto. With the unerring, without any error.
Huh?
With the unerring. Without any error.
Okay.
Of memory. With an unerring memory.
Official memory.
Yeah, memory.
Okay.
That characterized him. So he actually memorizes things very well. He repeated from the opening words of the manifesto. Now he remembers the manifesto itself, the piece of paper.
So the German.
Yes.
With the
unerring memory.
Official memory. This memory that
characterized him. He repeated. So with that memory, he repeated from the opening words of the manifesto.
So with that the memory, he repeated from the opening words
of the manifesto.
He repeated from the opening word. Means he didn't see.
He didn't have the manifesto in front of him, but he read it already. So now he's just saying it from his head. And the wish which constitutes the emperor's sole and absolute aim to establish peace in Europe on firm foundations has now decided him to dispatch part of the army abroad and to create a new condition for the attainment of that purpose. So basically he's saying that the emperor decided that his aim, right? The wish that the emperor has is to establish peace in Europe. He wants to make sure Europe has peace.
Oh.
Yeah.
So which constitutes
The emperor and so absolute aim.
means in.
No, his wish. He just says this wish.
Your wish, yeah.
Is what what the emperor only wants, and his true aim, absolute aim, that his true aim is to
Only
make peace.
want.
Yeah, emperor so means only. So emperor
what?
so only and absolute aim.
Only and absolute aim, I understand.
Yeah.
So it's his only and absolute
Right.
aim. But this aim is consistent.
No. This wish, which is part of the emperor's soul and absolute aim.
Oh, this is be part of.
Or made up of.
Made up of.
Yeah, the wish.
Is to establish the peace.
Okay, so why would they say that? Because it's saying that if Russia is going to send army out, its idea is to put peace in Europe, not attack Europe. Because if I'm a friend of Russia and you send all these people, all these soldiers in, then you might be afraid. What is Russia trying to do? So here it says very clearly, the emperor's sole and absolute aim is for peace in Europe, not to attack anyone. On the front foundation has now decided him to send off a part of the army abroad. Send a part of the army abroad and create a new condition for the attainment of that purpose. So I don't know what that means, create a new condition. But for the attainment means to make that purpose happen. Okay.
Dispatch means send a soldier out.
Yeah.
Part of the army abroad and create a new condition for the
attainment. Getting that purpose.
Attains
to get. Yeah.
Attempt to get a purpose. Yeah. A new condition. There is a possibility.
Yeah,
right?
probably. That, my dear sir, is why, he concluded, drinking a tumbler of wine with dignity and looking to the count for approval. So this is telling why we should go to war.
He concluded.
He concluded, yeah. He said that's why we need to go to war. That's what he's saying. Because this is what the Arab, and he drank from the wine. Again, dignity. See dignity in there?
Yeah, dignity. Yeah. 精致.
Connaissez-vous le proverbe? Do you know the proverb? Jerome, do not roam but turn spindles at home. Okay, so Shinshin is actually trying to make fun again. It says Jerome is the name of a person.
Who?
Don't know. Jerome, do not roam. Roam means like go somewhere, like wandering around.
Okay.
But don't roam, but turn spindles, turn things which go round and round at home. So basically, don't go walking around. Like, so the idea here is like, if you don't have anything to do, don't go and walk around. Just stay home and spin something. Spindle.
Spindles what?
When women make clothing, right? The sewing machine, right?
Yeah.
Sewing machine has a little thing spinning with a thread in it.
Thread on the
sewing machine.
Sewing machine. Okay, that is spindle.
That's a spindle. That the little thing there.
Okay, but turn spindles means play.
Just
with
turn around with whatever.
Just
do something
play.
at home that
At
goes
home.
up. Yeah, that
At
goes up.
home.
Yeah. Basically, instead of going out, just stay at home.
Uh-huh.
That's what the Shinshin is saying. Don't send your army to play around. Just stay home.
Don't send the army to the England.
Anywhere. Don't send it out to Rome. Says Shinshin, puckering his brows and smiling. Puckering. I don't know. I think pucker. I don't know. Puckering is like this. I don't know. And smiling. Cela nous convient à merveille. I guess. Do you know the proverb? I don't know. That's not the proverb. That's number 2. That suit us down to the ground. That's what I don't know. This is what should we do. Suronov now, he knew what he was about, yet they beat him à plat de couture. And where are we to find Suratov now? Je vous demande un peu, said he, continued to change over. So this is really hard to understand because it's changing from French to English here, French to English, so it's hard to understand. But it's basically they're saying somebody here, this guy Suvorov, he knew what he was gonna do, but they beat him. He beat him somewhere. And where's Surakov now? We must fight to the last drop of our blood. We have to fight to the last drop of our blood. That's what the colonel's saying. We have to fight. Thumping the table. Thumping means like maybe hitting his hand on the table. And we must die for our emperor. We have to die for the emperor. And then all will be well. Everything will be well. And we must discuss it as little as possible. So he basically says, let's just fight and we'll die there for the emperor. And let's not talk about it anymore. He dwelt particularly. He dwelt means like dwelt is to live. I dwell in a house, I lived in a house. So he dwelt means that he spent a lot of time, particularly on the word possible, as possible. He added, again turning to the count. That is how we old hussars look at it. And there's an end all of it. And how do you, a young man and a young hussar, know how do you judge of it? He added, addressing Nicholas. So now he's asking Nicholas. Who, when he heard that the war was being discussed, had turned from his partner with eyes and ears intent on the colonel. Who was Nicholas talking with before? To this other lady that Sonia did not like. Anyway, but when he heard about the war, he's like turned his head to the colonel. So basically asking his opinion. He said this. So the colonel said, "This is how we old hussars look at it, and that's how we think. But how do you, a young man and a young hussar, how do you judge it? Basically, how
young
do you?"
man is Nicholas.
Yes.
Young hussar is
Nicholas
Berg?
too. No, it's Nicholas too.
Hussar is ride a horse.
Yeah, basically gonna be, and how do you judge?
How do you judge it? He added.
Addressing Nicholas. Because Nicholas heard that the war was being talked about, so he... Intent. Fixed. Intent, like look really intently on something.
Okay.
Okay, should I stop here? Okay. Thanks everyone.